Good evening, grave robbers, and welcome back to the television graveyard. We are your TV necromancers, Laura Prince and Noah Houlihan. We have come here tonight to examine the spirits of past television shows, to find out which ones could be resurrected, should be resurrected, and which ones should just stay doomed. This is a podcast in which we will analyze the history, the hype, and the aftermath of shows that aired only one season or only one episode. With me, as always, is TV's Noah Houlihan.
Hello, Andy. Cigarette?
So today we are doing Wayside.
Yes, Sideways Stories from Wayside School. This is one part pilot and one part lost media. This kind of went missing for quite some time and only recently established itself online. This comes to us from 1987.
Yes.
And it is an adaptation of the Sideways Stories from Wayside High books, or book at the time, I believe. And this was listed as a TV special, but we here at Stay Doomed Studios know what that means.
Yes.
It's a failed pilot.
It was also in a literal book called Unsold Television Pilots that was published in 2015.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, excellent.
Because that was some of the only evidence that it existed for a while.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yes, there was not a ton of evidence that this even existed outside of if you had older copies of the book itself, Sideways Stories from Wayside School. They had the little, look for the ABC special.
Oh, soon-to-be TV show or whatever?
Yeah, which anytime a book is adapted, you see versions that either come out with a cover.
Yes.
Designed around the film or the film's poster or the TV show, or you see that sticker splashed on.
Yeah. I remember there was a time where it was a common joke to be like, ooh, Interview with the Vampire. I hear Brad Pitt's in this book. So, yeah, the idea of it kind of helping a book sell more when it gets adapted into another medium. I was a big fan of Sideways Stories from Wayside High.
As was
Wayside
I.
School. If I remember, there was Sideways Stories from Wayside High.
Wayside School.
Wayside School, excuse me.
Yeah, it's an elementary school.
And that was the first book, which, every chapter was about a different person.
Yes, it was about the students in Ms. Jewell's class on the 30th floor.
Yes, because it was a 30-story building.
Yes.
And then Wayside School is Falling Down was, I believe, the sequel.
Yeah, and that was also 30 stories. They all have 30 stories in them for the children.
Oh, that's fun.
Except for 19.
Oh, there is no floor 19.
There is no Miss Arves.
So, we'll get back to that at the end of this. Wayside School is Falling Down. I did not read, but I knew there was a song in it.
Yes, I did read Wayside School is Falling Down. This was something that I believe my 4th grade teacher, our teacher's aide, after lunch would read us one of the stories every day for a month. I don't know. I know my school district was very big on reading to you.
Yes.
Even well after students would have been able to read themselves. Mm-hmm. We discussed this recently. We discussed a book called Tangerine.
Yes.
And my 5th grade teacher read us Tangerine. Now, obviously, in 5th grade, you can expect that the students can generally read.
Right.
But it was still, we were read to. Mm-hmm. And Sideways Stories from Wayside School and Wayside School is Falling Down were both read to us.
And then I believe Wayside School is Getting Stranger was the 3rd book, which
yes.
I read some of.
Which did not follow the same format, if I recall
right.
correctly.
I don't believe it was one story, one person.
Because I think we realized that, and we're like, I guess we can't read this one after lunch.
Yeah. And still, one of my all-time favorite jokes from that book is they put in elevators at Wayside School. And, the school is, stunned for, a moment, and then they just, scream. Because they finally don't have to take the stairs. They're putting in 2 elevators. One for going up, and one for going down. And they worked once.
Yep.
Such a good joke.
The jokes in these books were always that kind of just simple.
Yes.
Clever.
So when I found out that there was a Wayside pilot, I was like, oh, we got to jump into this. I love these stories.
Yes.
So let's get into this. I would like to start this by saying, was 90% sure this was going to be a cartoon.
Yes, because we start off with a man in a boiler room, and this is the janitor, Lewis.
Yes.
Now, do you know why the janitor's name is Lewis, right?
Why is the janitor named Lewis?
The janitor is based on the author.
Oh, okay.
Louis Sachar. He is essentially the author avatar. He is the storyteller. In the Wayside School universe, he is the writer of the books.
Okay.
So having it framed by him is a very logical decision. He said, like, we're the only school in the district running on plutonium. It's amazing what the nuclear power plant throws away.
Yes. So the boiler/nuclear reactor.
Yeah.
Looking good, isn't she? It's a boiler. And a nuclear reactor. Yep.
And he's in just, like, regular janitor clothes. Like, he's not in any kind of, like, hazmat.
Yes, and I'm just watching him do stuff, and this, like, boiler is, like, pulsing with heat. And I was like, oh, okay. We're going to get this, and then we'll dive into the cartoon.
Yes.
Because we do get an establishment shot of the school, which is a drawing.
Right.
I won't say a cartoon because it's not really animated. It's a frame of a school that says Wayside School. And it is certainly not 30 stories high.
No.
So I'm already disappointed.
Yeah. And then we get into the title sequence. And I have a note here that says, oh no, Shangri-La Plaza, but not fun.
I also thought of Shangri-La Plaza.
I mean, it's that late 80s, early 90s look.
Yeah, that artifice.
So Pee Wee Herman did this, and it's cool when he does it. And
Very Pee Wee Herman.
I mean, you're really realizing how influential Pee Wee's Playhouse is.
Yeah. So we get this weird live action moment where Andy, the new kid, is walking down the hallway. And the hallway is not just trashed, but actively on fire.
Yeah. It's like, it is 80s apocalypse. It is Escape from LA by way of your local elementary school.
Yeah.
He's looking concernedly at a piece of paper. His Chuck squeak. Like that, like, your shoes squeaking, which is such a, like, elementary school trope. Of, like, for some reason your shoes are always really loud when you feel awkward.
Yeah. They do some nice directing stuff in that they always shoot from above when they're shooting Andy to make Andy look small. He opens his locker and gets just buried in stuff.
Yeah.
Because I guess it was somebody else's locker, because if it's his first day, why is there stuff in the locker? Anyway.
It's also an improbable amount of crap.
Yes. Then we meet the hall monitor.
Yes.
Who shines this flashlight in his face.
Lydia.
Lydia, yeah.
You know you're late for class. Yeah, I picked up on that. Am I anywhere near Miss Butterfield's room?
Oh, you got Miss Butterfield. Lydia, hall monitor. You?
Andy.
Follow me, Andy.
And she stops at her locker, and her locker also looks bigger on the inside, but lovely.
Yes. She's a pro at being here.
Yes.
She's dressed like a successful woman in the 80s.
Yes. She's kind of got like a black power suit.
She's got like one of those sweaters that have the football shoulder pads that women in the 80s used to have.
Yeah. Like a power suit.
In the 80s, women wanted to be wide. They wanted to be triangles.
I mean, there's actually reasons for that. That projected power and masculinity, which women entering the business world were trying to project that sort of power.
Right.
It's why they were called power suits.
Okay.
Because they wanted to project that, like, physical size to take up space intentionally.
And we get led to the classroom.
We get a little bit of exposition on the way.
Oh, but by all means.
Andy's upset. He's transferred here. He's been to a lot of schools. And she's like, Lydia says, kids don't have any rights.
Yeah.
They can just take across state lines anyway, anytime they want. And Andy goes, yeah, if we were fruit, there'd be laws.
Yeah, that's a wild line.
It's a great line.
Yeah.
Because I, like, having done some research recently about, like, what you can and cannot take certain places, it's true. Like, you can take a kid anywhere without their consent if you're their parents.
Yes. My next note just says, What?
So he gets led into the classroom, and the teacher introduces herself with, I'm Miss Butterfield, and I'm a Gemini.
Yes. Classic.
She's wearing bunny slippers. Mm-hmm. The other kids are weird. Some of them are puppets. At least 2 of them look like fully grown adults.
Yeah, so there's a fully grown adult in a suit.
One of them looks like a 30s starlet. There's a second adult-looking person that we don't really focus on as much.
There are 2 people who are puppet-esque.
Yes.
Puppet-adjacent. There's also, like, some troublesome, like, bully-looking kids. There's someone who's, like, dressed like a cop. Or like a reporter. Like always has one of the notebooks out where it's just like, oh, this is happening. Ugh.
The girl with the curly hair?
Yes.
The one who, like, is a snitch?
Yeah, the snitch. There is a claymation crow.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
So what I have here is, it is a mix of...
I also have one of them is John Hamm.
Was John Hamm there?
Not really, but the adult man kind of looks like John Hamm.
Kind of looks like John Hamm, yeah.
Like, the claymation characters kind of look like the Lazy Town kids.
Lazy Town is a good comparison.
Like Stingy and Ziggy.
What I have is, it is a mix of a Batman's like a 66 Batman's villain's lair, where everything's askew, mixed with Pee-wee's Playhouse, mixed with the Garbage Pail Kids.
With a little bit of Dick Tracy thrown in.
Yeah, a touch of Dick Tracy in there.
Like with some of the way some of the people look.
It is unnerving.
Yeah, a desk rolls in and rolls into place for him. And she goes, no problem, Randy. Immediately gets his name wrong. Mm-hmm. And he sits next to a kid dressed in all grayish. Like that gray beige color.
That gray beige, yeah.
And the kid intensely tells Andy not to put his hand under the desk because there's gum.
Don't put your hand under that desk. Why not? Gum. And you don't want to know what else.
Meanwhile, the whole time, the music from Turn On is basically playing.
Yeah, that like very...
That Vogue synthesizer... Oh, it's so overstimulating.
And they talk about how, like, Lydia is happy there and how that's not normal.
Yes, there's a moment of Lydia, like, where they're discussing Lydia, and she's on a phone. But, like, a landline phone, because it's 1987.
Yeah.
But, you know, predicting the future.
Yeah.
About kids having
These kids
phones.
on their phones in class.
And we're going to learn multiplication of fractions.
Well, they also ask him for his book report first.
Oh, is the book report first?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
So, they ask for his book report, and Morton panics when Butterfield asks for his. So, Bill wants to give his first. Bill is an adult with a wedding ring.
Yes.
Who winks at Morton, who's the name of the kid wearing grayish.
Yeah.
And Lydia says he's been held back a couple of times. Because he couldn't get math because he had a mental block about math.
He has a mental block about math.
And he gives, like, a very good book report.
Yes, I have the title here somewhere. Alice and Jerry go to the zoo. And talks about, like, the deep subtext of this. But it's clearly, like, a book you would read in, like, 3rd, 4th grade.
Yeah, in the grade they're in.
Yeah.
But he's probably read it 7 or 8 times now.
Yeah, but because he's an adult and he's good at this.
The narrative is stark, almost Chandler-esque. At first, suspense. Will Alice and Jerry get to the zoo? They do. The author's statement is clear. The elusive goal, each person's individual zoo, if you will, can be reached.
But for some reason, can't do math.
They then have a few announcements, and the principal is like this weird angry claymation speaker, and I have the note, the regular stories from the books were still weird enough, right?
Yeah, so if we want to address that now, none of these children are in the book.
No, that's clearly the first moment where I snap a little bit, based on where my notes are.
Because, like, a Wayside story, like, that I can remember is they're all trying to write poems about a color.
Yes.
They all have to do, like, I think it's just, like, your basic limerick. Or it's like, I like the color brown. It's how I feel when I feel down. It's the color of poo. It's the color of my shoe. And it's all around the town. Something like that. And 2 kids get in an argument because no one can do the same color. They all have to do different colors. And 2 kids get into an argument over who gets to do orange.
Because nothing rhymes with orange.
And then the one kid wins it and is just like sitting there going, barange, carange, darange. And it's like, oh, there's nothing that can be done. And like the bits in it were like, they argue over whose pencil is who. So it's like, all right, everybody write your name on your pencil. And then they all just kind of like try.
Because
that's a bit in Wayside Stories.
For sure.
There is not a crow that notices a large, mean-eyed telescope that is the principal spying on the school.
Yeah.
Very confusing.
It's like unnecessary. And not to say there wasn't stuff in the books that was supernatural or weird. Mrs. Gorf being an example of how she could turn the students into apples.
Yes.
Your personal nightmare.
Yeah, absolutely horrible.
But this just feels everything is weird for weird's sake.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get the creepy kid in the corner.
So, his name is Gray Bailey, and he's like trying to mess with the new kid. So he's pointing an AK-47 at him.
Yes.
Gray Bailey, I've told you 100 times, put those things away until recess.
But I want to play with the new kid.
Well, that's very nice. But we've talked about this before.
Because in 1987, the idea of a student in a grade school having an assault rifle was funny.
I mean, we're going to weirdly talk about Heathers for a second.
Okay.
One of the reasons Heathers worked as a film is because the premise was absurd.
Yes.
Like, it was a dark comedy because that didn't happen.
Right.
So, that late 80s, violence in schools was still very much a punchline.
Mm-hmm.
In a way that I don't remember it being later into the 90s, even pre-Columbine. I don't remember it being as much of a punchline in the 90s.
Well, I think because of, like, cartoons, the idea of extreme violence as a punchline was common. Like, Looney Tunes are what, 1950s, 1960s?
Further back,
even
30s on.
30s on. But, like, they're, electrocuting one another and, big explosions. Anvils falling on her head. And to do them in real life seems like a natural, like, progression of humor. It's like, oh, this works in a cartoon, let's do it in life. But it's weird seeing a kid with an assault rifle in a school and we're supposed to laugh at it. Very strange. But the kid does not go unpunished. because of this, he is sent to the principal's office, where the teacher pulls a lever and is ejected like he's on an episode of MTV's Remote Control.
Yes.
And ends up at the principal's office. They then, do some time establishing the principal.
Yes, and, the students are all terrified of her. But Mrs. Butterfield says, she's a lovely woman. Morton shows a drawing of the principal, and Lydia corrects him by being she doesn't have horns.
Yes.
But, not correcting her on anything else. And then I have the note of none of these are Wayside School characters.
Yeah. The drawing, comes to life and, yells at them.
Kids go to her office. Some folks say they don't come back.
Stop that! Stop drawing in class! Pay attention! This is typical of Miss Butterfield's students. She can't maintain any discipline in her...
If I remember Wayside Stories correct, there were some, supernatural elements. I kind of remember them getting a substitute teacher who had a third nostril that would suck up their voices.
Yes, Mr. Gorf.
Is that Mr. Gorf?
I believe so.
And basically, if you spoke, he would suck it up into your nostril and then have your voice.
Yeah, because Ms. Mush, makes him sneeze them all out later.
Yeah, okay, so...
Ms. Mush, yeah, I got it.
I am having a bit of trouble with this because I remember there was another book series about you get a substitute teacher and the crumble would come, and it was the...
Oh my god.
Yeah. It was basically this idea that...
Miss Nelson is missing!
Miss Nelson is missing. Miss Nelson...
Miss Viola Swamp!
Viola Swamp. Those are those words that I could not come to mind. This is not Wayside Story.
No.
It was... Miss Nelson was so nice that she was losing control of her class, so they got a substitute one day, and it was Viola Swamp, which was just her in disguise.
Yeah.
Which, they never actually said, but, it was supposed to teach you how to read subtext when you're in third grade. And she would, discipline them. And then when she came back, they were so glad it wasn't the swamp that they would behave.
Yes.
Now, I remember a story that I don't remember which universe it existed in, where it was... this very good teacher who was very fair, but didn't let you get away with not doing any, for missing an assignment.
Yeah.
So she shows up and, the kids kind of like her and she's cool, and then the janitor walks in and she's like, you. And she reaches into her bag and pulls out, an old math worksheet. And she's like, you need to finish this. And, the kids then are, freaking out. It was like, whoa, wait, what? And, it ends with her, I think in a canoe in the Serengeti, chasing down the one person who's, fortified themselves away so they didn't have to do a Spanish test. Because it's a substitute teacher, I don't remember which franchise I'm discussing right now.
No, I don't know what that is.
And I'm not going to Google it, and I'm just going to live in confusion. Let's get back to the show.
I could get Miss Nelson is missing out of what you gave me. I can't get that. Well, because I knew. I could picture Viola Swamp.
Yes.
So, now Andy has to solve... Now they're learning to multiply fractions. Now we're back to the math like you were talking about.
So they're trying to get someone to go to the board to multiply 1/2 times 3/4. An equation that I realize I cannot do. Because I was like, oh, okay. So I just tried to do the math and I was like, no, that's not how you do this.
Miss Drazel is the substitute teacher. That is from Sideways Stories from Wayside School. TV tropes.
Yeah, thank you, TV tropes. But I wanted to ask, could you multiply 1/2 times 3/4?
Yeah. 3/8.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I had to convert it to decimals for me to, like, mentally be able to do it.
I mean, you just multiply both numbers.
I thought you had to find common denominators or something.
Nah.
Oh, nah. Turns out I'm wrong. I hadn't considered nah.
I think that's to add or subtract.
I think that, yeah, okay. That makes sense.
But to multiply, nah. That's a hard nah.
3 A's. Okay. Anyway. Look, I have a block with math, all right? I have a block. If you guys want to hear about Alice and Jerry go to the zoo, I got you. So, after all of this, Andy's starting to feel like he doesn't want to be at the school. He's just stressed out. He's watched all this shenanigans happen. He's like, I'd really like a transfer. Mm-hmm. And the teacher's like, oh, is that what you want? He's like, absolutely. He goes, okay then. I guess you should go to the principal's office, and pulls the switch, and...
Well, I kind of like to talk about what happens when he tries to multiply the fraction.
Oh, I did skip over that. Go ahead.
Yeah, the board goes nuts. It's written very simply on the board, and then it just snakes out and, like, becomes confusing and terrifying.
Yes, I missed that because I was trying to do math in my notebook during that sequence.
Oh, I thought that was actually kind of... I actually really wanted your take on that, because I know you were not, like, a right-on-the-board kid. And would that have been, like, how you perceived, like, having to do something daunting in school?
If I was being honest, I was pretty good at math, and I liked going to the board. Because I liked performing, so I liked being in front of people.
That's fair.
But only math, because I didn't have to spell anything.
Okay.
Because I distinctly remember it was like a face-off. I was up against somebody else, and it's like, all right, I'm going to give you a term or a definition. You have to write the answer on the board. And I was just like, okay, I think we could do this. And it got up to my turn. I was facing off against this girl, and this was we were in social studies, and they went, okay, ready? Germany, Italy, Japan.
Oh, no.
And we just kind of stared at each other. The answer they wanted was the Axis powers.
Right.
But I didn't realize that, so I went with countries. Or country. Well, yeah. I spelled countries with a Y and an S, and no O.
Country matters, then.
Yeah, so I was just like, yeah, countries.
Oh, no.
So Laura has buried her face in her hands on this.
Did they get, like... A lot of younger kids wouldn't have understood what the problem was, though. They would have focused on the ending of the word being wrong.
Yeah. It was just one of many moments where it was like, Noah can't spell words. Do we get the scene with the janitor first or the scene with the principal first?
We get right to the principal.
Okay. So they do this good thing where his desk drags him to the principal's office, and as he gets there, the child that we saw before leaves the principal's office.
Creepy and brainwashed.
Creepy brainwash saying, like, I will be good, I will do my studies, I will be good, I will do my studies.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, so we're setting up, the power of the principal. And
she's got a cool rat puppet as a pet.
He walks in, she has a rat puppet, and is in...
A dungeon?
A dungeon? Like Pee-wee's dungeon. Like, because her desk has a face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Pee-wee's red room, okay? Pee-wee didn't have a red room. He wouldn't have gone to the theater if he did. But...
Stop. No. Foul. Objection. Boo.
Remember, kid?
No! No to whatever you're about to say.
Well, here's the safe word. Here's the safe word. Scream real loud. Pineapple.
Boo! Boo this man.
I don't know. I think there's still jokes to be done here.
Boo!
Get in here, Conky. So
I'm quitting the show.
So then
You're so proud of yourself.
I keep coming up with more, and I need to move on. So I'm going to need you to say what happens next, or else Secret Screen's going to have a lot to say.
Okay. So she's a fairly normal-looking woman who offers him a cigarette, which is still funny.
No, does she offer him a cigarette? Because the janitor does.
No, she offers.
Oh, she also offers him a cigarette?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, Andy. Cigarette? So, Andy, you'd like a transfer?
And asks him to call her Lorraine. But she's Ms. Mangles. And she wants proof of Butterfield's class. She wants the class diary.
Yes.
Because she needs to get something on Butterfield. And so she says she'll keep Butterfield in her office for 10 minutes if Andy can get her this diary.
Yes.
And in exchange, Andy will get a transfer pass. Mm-hmm. Which is not a thing.
Right.
So he leaves, and Ms. Butterfield gets called down to her office, and during this, Mangles resets her office, and it's giving, I hate to make a Harry Potter reference, but it's really fitting here, it's giving Dolores Umbridge's office, like that pink, sickly,
Yeah.
like, grandma's house. Mm-hmm. And she also sends away her creepy rat pet. And this is very Pee-wee's Playhouse. Like, the desk turns into a not creepy desk. Mm-hmm. And she then also changes her own clothes from, like, a militaristic uniform to, like, a kindly old lady house dress.
Yes. And so basically the idea is the principal is going to distract the teacher long enough for Andy to steal this diary. But he's conflicted because stealing is wrong. He then has a chat with the janitor, Lewis. And they 100% blow a joke here.
Yeah.
There's a moment where he walks up to the teacher, or the janitor, and the janitor just dumps out a pail of trash.
Yeah.
And then they start talking. He dumps out the pail of trash to give him a seat, but they never show that in the shot.
Yeah.
Which I was just like, that's just laziness. They kind of have a discussion about whether or not Andy's going to do it, whether or not he's going to steal this diary.
Yeah.
And the janitor says something like, you know, she used to be the vice principal, and then she forced him out and made him a janitor.
Yeah.
And that was me. It's like, oh, okay, gotcha. There's kind of like a power imbalance. Like, all right. He then returns to the classroom. I really enjoy this bit. He is standing there looking at the diary. And a, like, thought bubble pops up of him in jail.
For the act of stealing, you are condemned to life in prison and no TV.
Don't do it! Oh, why not? The principal said it was okay. And besides, it's the only way out of this pit. It's stealing.
Hey. You gonna steal Miss Butterfield's diary and give it to Miss Mangles?
How did you know? Saw your thought bubbles.
Meta humor in 1987?
In a kid's show?
In a kid's show? Like, that's pretty ahead of its time. But, so I enjoyed that.
And so he's like, well, I need to get out of here. Like, I need this transfer pass. And she goes, you're never trapped. Play the game. Little baby Lydia Jigsaw.
Yes. And Lydia goes, guys, we have a project.
Yes.
Meanwhile, we cut back to the teacher talking to the principal. And this is another bit I enjoy. They're discussing whether or not the principal's pretending that she enjoys the teacher's kind of new age approach to education. I don't know why that word was so hard for me. And she's like, oh yeah, check out this magazine about, the importance of meditation. And gives her the magazine and then runs to like spy on the kids to make sure that the diary is being stolen. And the teacher goes, Principal, this is guns and ammo.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, why is that there?
I will know. This is a lot of gun references for a children's show.
It is.
So the kids forge a new diary.
Yes, they create an entirely new diary.
Like, the older man, Bill, shines it up, and they stamp it, and they get the kid who's, like, not doing well because he was just at the principal. He's just mindlessly stamping, and they just keep putting things in front of him to stamp. And they put the book into the principal's office like a dumbwaiter.
Yes.
And then finally Andy yeets the real diary and it lands on the desk right as Ms. Butterfield walks in. And Phoebe, the girl you were talking about, the like reporter snitch girl, tattles on everybody.
Yeah. But she doesn't care for some reason.
Because then the dumbwaiter also barfs up the transfer pass.
Yes.
Holding up Ms. Mangle's end of the deal. Until Andy opens it.
And it says, for entertainment purposes only.
Yes.
Which, I'm curious if that was like a popular line or bit in 1987. For entertainment purposes only.
It's something you write on like prank things. Like prank lottery tickets, prank money. Mm-hmm. So it would have been a good shorthand for, it's not real.
Okay.
Neither's the diary. They'd sent Ms. Mangle the forged one with pop test, 10 a.m., useless facts, 11 a.m., pop test on the useless facts.
Yes. What, like a standard, what a kid thinks a teacher writes down.
Yes. And so then Ms. Mangle's about to call Andy down to the office and straight up murder him because he sent the forged diary.
Yes.
And then the bell rings.
Saved by the bell. The bell ringing is like claymation of
You're free!
A face screaming. And they all run out and it cuts down to the janitor by the boiler going,
So I had to ring the bell a little early today. I figured the kid had been through enough.
12 minutes early. Remember to adjust the clock.
So it's kind of like this weird, like, the janitor watching out for the kids because he should be the principal.
Yeah.
Situation. And that's the end of the show.
Well, the Raven goes, what do you think, Lewis? Do you think he's going to make it? And Lewis goes, he's a dead man. And the Raven's like, yup.
And then the show ends no credits.
Yes.
It just ends. There's probably credits when it aired. We didn't get them. And that's the show.
Yep.
There's some good in this. There's some, like, real fun lines in it. One of the lines that we missed was, the principal says, sometimes you have to be cruel. To be kind? No, for fun.
That's a good line.
That's a great line. It is super surreal.
Yeah.
Like, way over the top. As a kid, though, I think I would enjoy this.
Yeah. I
mean, this is peak 80s, like, a kid show? Let's make it really scary.
Yes.
Like, what if everything was terrifying? Because when I was a kid, I was always terrified. So that's the experience of being a child. It's all over the place. But like, maybe this is me just believing in it too hard. They set up this kind of like chess match power struggle between the janitor and the principal. And that, like, the principal was the vice principal and is, like, has all the power. The janitor was the principal, but doesn't want to leave because he actually cares about the school.
Yeah.
So he's taking any job he can so he can still kind of pull strings somewhat. The teacher actually does like the kids and is trying to educate them through new methods.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, like, good in here. It's just not sideways stories from Wayside.
That's the thing I don't like about it, is it's not what it claims to be.
Because to go back to just, like, favorite jokes, and, like, these are favorite jokes of all times. Like, this book stayed with me.
Yeah.
When you're reading the original Wayside story, or Wayside School, every once in a while, it would just go, moo. And it would either not be addressed, or one of the characters would say, did someone just say moo? I don't think so. And you would and the story would just move on. And as you're reading, you also learn about Miss Zern, right? From the 19th
Miss
story.
Zarves.
Miss Zarves. Miss Zarves is the teacher on the 19th story. There is no 19th story.
Yes.
To the point that when you get to story 19, it is Miss Zarn, there is no Miss Zarn, there is no 19th story, sorry. And that's the whole story.
Yes.
And then as you go on and on and on and on towards the end of the book, it finally says, there is no 19th story, there is no Miss Zarn, but somehow a cow is in her classroom. And it's just a story about them trying to get this cow out of the building, with characters you've never seen before dealing with this problem. Because they're all in this, like, Phantom Zone 19th story. And, like, as that really had an effect on me as a kid. The idea of there is no 19th story. Oh, but there is. Like, that's so ARG, like, unfiction type storytelling.
Yeah.
That I, like, really held on to my entire life. Because I really liked that concept of just, like, setting it up with this subtle moo randomly as you're reading for it to pay off chapters later.
For sure.
Loved it.
I mean, it was just full of those little bits. Mm-hmm. Everything was odd, but odd in a way that still felt kind of recognizable.
Yeah. I was watching this just waiting to hear the moo.
Aww.
That's all I really wanted out of this, is just for somewhere in the middle of this year, like, moo. And for it to be unaddressed, because I would have gotten it. I would have gotten the joke. And I was like, okay, this is Wayside. It just isn't.
No.
I think, call it something else, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I think, like, also, you could have had it be like, it could have been Wayside High, and you'd be like, oh, it's because this is the high school version of this. Wayside School is over there, and that's why the canon is different. You could have fixed this. But it seems like somebody wrote a really weird show.
Yeah. And then they just slapped.
Like a license on it. And that's a bummer.
Yeah, and they have later made Wayside Stories.
Yes, I saw that's on, like, It's Weird's YouTube page or something. It was called something like It's Weird, or Make It Weird, or Get Weird.
What?
That was the YouTube channel I saw that had all the episodes. But it's like a flash animation. It looks like it was like a couple years old.
I mean, they did make, they made an animated series. It's the clearly like late 2000s Flash style.
Yeah, like it looks like Total Drama Island.
It is Canadian and it did air on Teletoon.
Okay then.
So
nailed it.
That'll do it. And that one, that one is based on the books much more. It's about, Ms. Jewel's class. Miss Zarves is mentioned. And they really do lean into it a lot more. For example, everything is very sideways and askew.
Right.
And we get a lot of the characters we are used to. Like, you know, we get Mauricia. We get a bunch of the characters we already know. There are some new characters. There are some characters who are kind of conflated into one another. But you get, like, Ms. Mush, you get Lewis, you get Ms. Jules. So you get these characters who you're kind of already fond of. And in the pilot movie, the audience avatar character is played by Michael Cera.
Oh, nifty.
Voice actor, but, like...
Got it.
Because that one is a cartoon.
That one's actually a cartoon. So, do you have any more research before we give this a...
Not really. This was lost for a long time and has kind of finally resurfaced. People were kind of leaning on scraps that it even existed for about 15, 20 years. So it's wild to see that it finally appeared.
Yes, here it is for you to enjoy. So I guess it's verdict time. What you thinking?
It's a hard stay doomed.
A hard stay doomed. Really?
Oh, God. This was one where I just did not enjoy watching it. I felt like it was very tough to follow. It was unpleasant looking. It was weird for the sake of it without really having, like, a cohesion. There was no central world building. Like, Shangri-La Plaza is weird looking. Mm-hmm. But there is an internal logic to the world.
Right.
Like, everything is candy-colored and people sing, and that is normal. Like, here, it was just everything's weird for the sake of it. But we gotta make sure we know it's weird, because there are enough characters, there are enough straight men characters who are like, no, it's weird.
Yeah.
Like Grage and the main character, Andy.
Right.
Andy was boring.
Yeah, I mean, that's the typical, like, you need the straight character to be the main character so we can feel weird with him. I think I really want to give it a stay tuned.
Okay.
I actually really like it. I think, though, if I'm putting my mind back into what I would be like if I was in the target audience, I would be so upset that this wasn't like Wayside Stories. So I think I have to give it a stay doomed
by virtue of the game over
rule, because, like, I really feel like if you change the title of this and just make it about a weird school, I think it's pretty decent. And I'd totally watch more of this. Okay. I think it's really wacky, and I liked it. I liked it. So
it was not my thing.
It's rare that we disagree. But yeah, I really want to give it a stay tuned. So I will, because it's my show. It's our show. It's my vote.
Excuse you.
So that's going to do it for us here at Stay Doomed Studios. If you're having fun with us, please join us in the Discord. You can find links below and chat with us about many, many things. But if you don't want to do that, how else can people find us, Laura?
You can email us at Stay Doomed Show or on Blue Sky at Stay Doomed.
And if you want more Red Room Pee-wee jokes...
No.
I'm at TV's Noah on Blue Sky and Instagram.
If you need to boo this man, he is TV's Noah on Blue Sky and Instagram. Until next time, stay doomed.
You don't have an Instagram?
Boo.